So it's been a while, sorry guys. Christmas orders just took over, so but now we've pretty much got all of our orders out for Christmas, so I thought it'd be a good time to do a little vlog and have a little catch up. I'm just going to show you what I'm getting up to today in the studio, which has changed. So we built a little studio in our garden. I'm planning to give like a proper tour and how we did it and everything in some videos coming up, so I'll save that for then. But today I'm doing a little taking some photos. So these kind of just came out the kiln, so I'm just going to add a few of these items up on the shop. So this is a little Kuronuki cottage, which I use for wax melts. This is an incense cottage, and then some Kuronuki boxes, which I really love how the glazes turned out on these guys. Really lovely, like navy blue and like brown tones, which are really interesting, like they flow over the carvings, over the texture and stuff. So I think that one looks great. And then also I'm super happy with this one as well. I love this green. It's like kind of a mossy green, and it goes into like a more vivid green, but it kind of just like gathers in all of those like carvings and everything. So yeah, so I'm gonna take some photos of those. I've just collected a few things from the garden. I want to use these in the house to make like a Christmassy decorations, but I'm gonna first use them for these photos. So I'm just gonna style those and then I'll show you how I've done that. So I'm just putting all the foliage here kind of styled up. I have a little backdrop there that's like kind of a light pink, and I like to do it out like beside the window so you get some kind of sunlight, well, whatever sunlight there is from this direction. And then I just got this really cheap old pear like step ladder. I think it's like a painter's ladder, but I think it looks really nice with photos, all like the little dings and stuff. So yeah, I'm just putting a load of leaves basically around, and I'm hoping the pots will look nice there. This is the next day. So yesterday I took photos of those things I showed you, the cottages. Actually I still have them here, but of these guys, well, the cottages have already been sold now, so I can package those up, which is nice. So hopefully those will be out before Christmas. And today I'm just going to pull some handles. So I have these mugs. These are actually Christmas presents for people. I've actually managed to nearly make everything for Christmas, so these are presents for people, and I'm gonna attach some handles to these guys. So I'm just wedging out some clay for that. And then I'm also carving some of these cups here for a commission, so I'll show you that as well. I'm just boiling some hot water. I'm going to stick into this bowl, just because it's getting a bit chilly in the studio these days, so it's nice to have water that's warm to work with. And I'm going to pull the handles using this clay, and then I'm going to shape it over this rolling pin in front of the heater. Okay, so I'm just using some clay. This is a iron flecked stoneware clay, so I've just wedged it all up, and I'm just shaping it to pull some handles. Sorry if the heater's really loud, it's really cold in here. I just have some water here, so I'm just going to start pulling. I wanted to make these more like flatter than rounder. I think it just is nicer to hold in the hand, so I'm going to be shaping it as I pull the handle down. So you just want to do even motions, pulling the clay down into a sausage. So this is like a flattened sausage. it's going to become the handle. I just like to pinch it off at the end and then do a little compression with my thumb, and then I'll just pinch that off, and then I use a rolling pin and I basically just shape it around there and set that over and let it dry up in front of the heater. Today I'm going to be doing unloading the kiln. I've just got some bisqueware to take out, and then I'm going to be glazing up some of those. So I'll show you how I get on. Just in the studio, so I'm just gonna walk down to the kiln, which we are actually still keeping in the brick outhouse that's closer to the house, just until we got all of our Christmas orders out. But then we're going to move it over to where the studio is so that it's closer, because it's a bit of a trek with carrying like the pots back and forth. But yeah, it's working out for now. We just didn't want to move the kiln like mid processing all of the pre-orders, just in case something happened and then we're like, kiln's broke, but I'm sure it'll be fine when we move it. So yeah, this is in the kiln. This is the brick outhouse where it lives at the moment. So yeah, so the bisque should have finished. Lots of tea sets, and then also some these are just our classic mugs that I also kind of put an initial on the front as well, if people want to personalize them. And then these are the tea sets, so they have a little hat, lid and strainer. So I'm going to take all of these out. Underneath I also have a few bowls and dishes, I think. So I take all of my bisques just on this board. It helps me carry from the kiln to the studio, but it's slightly risky. This is why I want to have the kiln much closer to the studio soon. But yes, this is what we're doing today. So this is all the bisque that I just got out the kiln. So we've got a few bowls, dishes, plates, and then all those mugs. And then also I'm doing a little slip cast test. This is a little cottage that we slip cast in a mould, and we mixed in some yellow slip with the white bone china. So I just want to see the colour of the yellow, so I'm quite excited to see this guy. I'm just going to clear glaze the roof and then glaze fire it. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of go through here. I've got my little sheet of all the orders, so I'm just gonna go through all those orders and plan out what I can glaze today, and then hopefully pop it in the kiln tomorrow. So yeah, I'll show you that when I do it. Yeah, so I might put in some clips of me glazing. I just might prop you opposite while I'm glazing, just to show you how I glaze the pots up. Okay, all right, bye. I just wanted to show you some of my glazing. I'm first adding some wax. This is actually going to be an initial mug, so this is an eye. And what I do is add wax where I draw the letter, so that when I glaze it, it repels the glaze and you see the raw clay that becomes the letter. So I just draw the letter on with pencil, which burns off when it fires in the kiln, and then I just fill in the letter with wax like that. So I have, and I'm also going to do this one, which is an A. And because the letter is a kind of, it leaves the raw clay, I think it looks really nice, like really rustic, but also quite kind of sleek, rather than, because I use a stencil to put the letter on, I can be a bit more consistent with how the letter looks, which I think looks nicer than if I did it by hand. So this is the A. So I'm just going to leave those to dry. I'll actually just quickly grab one of them just so you can see how they look. So this one is glazed blue. You can see that the letter is really nice. I mean, I flipped you, which is why. But yeah, the letter is like the raw clay, and it's gone quite toasty, which is nice. And then you have the glaze everywhere else, and yeah, I think it looks really nice. So I'm just making a couple of those, and then I'm just going to wax some of the bottoms of some bowls I have. I bought this dent puller that Old Forge Creations, he talks loads about this, I'll link his channel down below, that if you wax the bottom of your pot, then you can use this like as a suction to dip my pots, which I don't normally do, but I'm trying to do quite a consistent application on these bowls, which is dinnerware. I'm usually quite free with how I apply glaze, like I pour it on or let the drip show and stuff like that, but for these pieces I want them to be quite like consistent, so I'm hoping that if I just do a dip and the bowl doesn't fall off, which it has done multiple times for me, then I'll get just like a nice clean application on the bowls. So I'm going to give that a go. So I'm just, these are the bowls, so these are just like dinner sets, bowls for dinner sets. I really love the size, not too big, not too small, and I'm just going to glaze that bottom bit so that there's enough space for the dent puller to sit like that. Let's see. I might get a bigger brush. I'm gonna get a bigger brush. The problem when you lose wax is that it ruins all your brushes, so this one is bigger but it's like solid. So I'm just gonna do that, really just get some wax on, because just like that, because I mean you could do this on the wheel, but I'm just doing this really quickly because it's not like I need a nice application. I just need there to be wax so that the dent puller will stick, so it doesn't have to look nice, because it will just fire off. So I'll just show you where I keep all my glaze buckets. Here they are, under the shelves. My floor is disgusting, don't judge me. I will be cleaning it very soon. So yeah, Heath Ivory. This is the white I use. So I just keep all my glazes on these like little casters so I can just move them around. If I can find these, I'll link them down below. Yeah, so I just use a hand blender to mix up the glaze, which is on them casters. I've already mixed this up already. I'm just giving it just a mix just before I glaze my pot. I just like to kind of remix it just before I glaze, just because I'm doing a lot of the same colour. This is the white, so I put this in the inside of all my pots, and I just want to make sure that it's suspended before I glaze. So I just give it a quick mix, but the first time I do it, I'll give it like a really long mix. And then I'm just going to use a jug to glaze my pots. So here I have a mug. This is part of a tea set. So you have a strainer that goes inside, and then the lid sits on top. But I glaze all of the insides white so that it's nice against whatever like tea or coffee you have, and it just looks nice against the colour on the outside. So I'm just gonna pour the glaze in here. And try to carefully pour it out. And I just let it drip so that most of the glazes come out, because if you quickly put it back, you'll get a load of glaze that hasn't like dripped out yet, kind of whooshing back. So it is a little bit uneven, but yeah, and that's it. And then I just sponge away this few drips that have gone over the side. If this is like a white mug, I won't do that, but because it's a different colour on the outside, I just make sure it's clean of the white, because it will affect the colour of the glaze. And then I'm just going to leave this to dry out in front of the heater, just so that when I put the colour on the outside, the pot isn't like wet or cold, so that when it takes up that glaze, it's like a nice even thick layer, how it would be if it was a freshly bisqued pot. You can also do the inside and leave it overnight as well, which is the same effect. I just want to glaze everything today. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to get on and do this now. So I just wanted to show you all of those pieces 5 that I glazed. I think I didn't film glazing them all, but I showed you how I mix up the glaze and stuff. And I've just pulled these guys out of the kiln. So these are for dinner sets, and I do like a set of bowls. So I just want to show you how the glaze came out. I think it came out super nice. This is my white. I love how it pulls the speckles in the clay. So this clay is iron speckled stoneware clay. And then this is my white. And then I really like how this set looks with a mix of the colours. So I have green, cobalt blue, so this is cobalt's added to the glaze to make it this really nice blue, and I just quite like the variations of the blue, different tones of blue on the glaze, and also how it kind of drips into the white. And then the last colour is opal, so you can see it has this kind of purpley opalescent kind of effect to the glaze. So yeah, that's it. And these are just some other pieces I did, some of my more textured carvings, which I love with the blue glaze, because it really breaks over, the blue breaks kind of into this brown, so you see the texture, and then you see the glaze kind of running kind of over the carved surfaces, so it kind of looks like water running over rocks, which I really, really like. And then this is one of my tea strainers, so it comes with a lid that you can flip over, and then a tea strainer that comes out, and then you can pop that on the lid, and then that's your teacup, which is a really good size, like a proper big hefty cup. So that's a tea set that someone has ordered. And then I also do these kind of personalised mugs. So this is the eye. I showed you me waxing the letter. So the wax acts as a resist and so that the glaze doesn't attach to the clay where I've put the wax. So you kind of see the letter. So this is an A in the opal, and then this is an I in the white. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to package these up. So I think this is my last Christmas orders out, and then we can have a little break over Christmas. So I guess I'll see you guys in the new year. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, bye!